Just watch.
Hey, gang. Hey, the poet. Hey, Stacy. Um, I'm glad to see you guys in here. And welcome to yet another edition of Celluloid Trash. And here in a little bit, we're going to be talking about TerrorVision, which I do have a physical copy of. It's a double feature from Screen Factory with the video Dead also on it. And Things from 1989, which I do not have a physical copy of it, but I do have a picture of like the poster or the DVD or Blu-ray from Intervision that I will show when we get to that. Yeah, I think uh, Jeremy Davis is underrated as well, Stacy. I was thinking Steve was going to get Black Phone too. I know you weren't asking me about that, the poet, but I thought I would chime in there because I thought Steve told me he either was going to get Black Phone 2 or had Black Phone 2 or we was going to watch it or something. I know he had brought that up at some point. Um, but Stacy, since you mentioned you like the picture of the car and the animal, etc., the squirrel and the beach and all that, actually, that is an intro for a new series I want to start soon called Let's Chat, where me and Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel will be talking about different subjects. Now, some people might think it's silly to have a little animated thing with a cartoon animal and all that stuff, but I just thought it might be a little interesting. Um, but um, I do want to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way before we get to these movies, and hopefully, I won't lose everybody while I do that. Um, so, we have another Psycho road trip coming up tomorrow night, hopefully starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to be talking about one of my favorite Pete Walker slashers, which is Schizo. But we're also going to be talking about The Confessional as well. Um, Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, will be another horror movie rewind. This will be a Thanksgiving themed one for Blood Rage, aka Nightmare at Shadow Woods. Thursday will be another They're All Messed Up. Also, hopefully, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Eyeball and The Love Butcher. And we've got, guess what, folks? We've got Evil Dead Chicks, Slumber Party. This is going to be Evil Dead Chicks, A Nightmare on El Dorado Avenue Slumber Party. Hopefully, several of us will be watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, directed by Wes Craven, and Nightmare on Elm Street 4. So be sure to wear your best PJs. I'm going to try to get my. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll have a Freddy Krueger themed sleep shirt for Evil Dead Chicks, A Nightmare on El Dorado. Can't even talk. Nightmare on El Dorado Avenue Slumber Party. So be sure to wear your best PJs attire. Bring your stay awake pills and your coffee or your other caffeinated beverage of choice so you can stay up for both movies. This will be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday because we're going to be watching two movies. And also, so Freddy doesn't get you, folks. And also, I believe, let me just double check myself here. Yeah, November 22nd, we're going to have another watch along. And it looks like Cannibal Holocaust is still in the lead, folks, at 57 with 57% of the votes. I think this is the the one watch along that's had the most votes on it since I've been doing these. So we've got Camel Holocaust in first place. It's the winner right now. I'll probably let this poll go on for another day or so before I close it down. But Hills Have Eyes, the original Hills Have Eyes, also directed by Wes Craven, at 38%, and Cannibal Ferox is dragging in in the last place at 5% of the votes. All right. So the poet, I am still doing the top tens. I've just got to come up with another top 10. Is there a top 10 that you'd like to see me do? Because the poet, you've been on a roll lately. You've had some good ideas for stuff. Well, to tell you the truth, Stacy, I never saw Devil Wears Prada, the first Devil Wears Prada, so I can't really comment on that. I can, yes, I will definitely consider doing a program where I discuss American Gothic TV programs. Um, and, and I think that's a great idea. I mean, me and Candace kind of did something like that a while back, but it wasn't specifically on American Gothic TV programs. But we talked about like Hammer House of Horror and stuff like that. And then, things got where we couldn't do Friday Foolish as much as we had wanted to. And so I think a lot of things, and it was neither one of our faults, it just fell by the wayside. Um, are you wanting to specifically have me talk about American Gothic from 1992? If that's what you're getting at, I would be glad to do that. So be on the lookout for that, because I did horror on TV. I did a series called Horror on TV a while back, and that would fit perfectly on that. I'd love to bring the horror on TV back. DePoe, you want top 10 actors who play Jason? Okay, I think that's a fantastic idea. Let me write that down, the poet, so I don't forget. And I'm also going to write down Stacy's thing as well. I take it, the poet, that you like those top tens. I enjoyed doing them. I just hadn't had a chance to sit down and think about, what would I want to do a top 10 on. All right, let me write down what Stacy said here. Because this is good, because this is what I want people to do. I want people to tell me things that they'd like to see me do programming on. All right. So before we get to these movies, I want to do my little spiel here, um, letting everybody know. Before I say that, I did get your movies mailed out. I didn't know if I had already said that, but I did get your movies mailed out. Steve took them to the UPS store for me over the weekend. So hopefully they'll be getting to you really soon. And I hope they come to you in good condition, because I tried to pack them good and all that good stuff. And thank you again for entering the contest. Hey, Gory Tiger. But as always, I want to remind you guys and gals in here that there are several different ways that you can support. Where's my movies, buddy? What are you referring to, Uncle Bill? You talking about one of my mascots or something like that? Or are you talking about something totally different? But it's good to see you in here, Uncle Bill. But there are several different ways that you can support me and the channel that won't cost you a dime, folks. Midnight Caller, I don't think you want your movies. Oh, you're asking me, hey buddy, where's my movies? Hey, you didn't enter the contest, Uncle Bill. The poet did. Let's see. Midnight Caller. That would be good to go and watch Midnight Caller because I don't think I ever watched it when it was on. I'll write that one down too. But Uncle Bill, you might get another chance to win some movies because I still got some movies to. He said, "Don't matter, Dana. You know I want them damn movies." LOL. Hey, well, Uncle Bill, like I was getting ready to say, I'm getting ready to do a trivia contest because I still got to get rid of these damn movies as you call them, because I got to make more room on my shelves. I think I would for Candyman. Stacy comes up with some interesting questions, but back to what I was just talking about before I got distracted about damn movies and stuff. You can subscribe to the channel if you've been dancing around the subject of whether you should join the or subscribe to my channel or not. What are you waiting for? It's never a bad time to subscribe to my channel or anybody's channel for that matter. And it's absolutely free. I don't even have to know that you subscribed unless you want to tell me. And folks, once again, I usually look at the numbers. I'm not, going through my list of subscribers with a fine-tooth comb to see who subscribed anyway, to be honest. Yeah, but Uncle Bill, that thing was basically for new subscribers. But CK asked me if you could unsubscribe and resubscribe, would that count? And I said, yeah. And I think that's what the poet did. But I was like, dude, I told y'all could do that, and he took me up on it. So he got his pick from 3 of those prize packs, and he picked the one that had Night of the Creeps on there. But you can enter the trivia contest when I get it put up, Uncle Bill. Like I said, I've got 2 more prize packs of 5 movies apiece. Oh, Stacy, I'll probably have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure what comedy movie would I want a special edition and a new commentary for. Because I think I'm in horror movie mode now, and I can't think about comedies right now. But I'll try to. Don't let me forget about that, okay? But I promise I won't try to minister to you or sell you candy bars and cookies. You can watch as many of the videos or as less of the videos as you want to. Nobody's going to come, knocking on your door, bothering you or anything like that. All right. So you can hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content I've got coming out. And hopefully I stay on time and all that stuff. You can also hit the like button on anything you particularly enjoyed. And heck, if you enjoyed it all, hit that like button all across the board. And here's one more way that you can support me in the channel. It won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. And that's by sharing with friends and family members that you think might enjoy the content that I'm putting out. Okay? And I'll do y'all a solid. And I will put my channel handle in the chat there. All right. So let's get to these movies, shall we, folks? So the first one I want to talk about is, of course, TerrorVision. Stacy, you say, give Loomis an evil twin. He undermines Loomis' teachings in the mental hospital, etc. That would probably be an interesting movie, or maybe even an interesting short. Okay, guys and gals, I rewatched TerrorVision last night, and I love this movie. It might be celluloid trash, but it's fun. And like I always say, if the movie is fun, but it's still celluloid trash, I can love it. So we have the Putterman family. And that consists of Stanley Putterman, played by the only Garrett Graham. He installs this state-of-the-art satellite dish at his home. And then there's a cosmic incident that happens that sends a alien creature, some kind of slimy, goopy monster, into their television, basically. So, they don't notice the Puttermans don't notice anything odd at first until this little creature starts coming out of their television and grabbing hold of Grandpa's head and like sucking out his brain and stuff. It's like his head implodes. And so a very young Chad Allen plays the youngest Putterman. Diane Franklin plays the oldest daughter. And Mary Warnow plays Mrs. Putterman. And Mr. and Mrs. Putterman like to go swing. They like to leave their kids by themselves and go out and swing with other couples. So, craziness ensues in this movie, courtesy of this goopy, slimy monster that comes out of their TV. And I mean, that's basically all there is to TerrorVision, but I have so much fun because this is an all out, in your face, goopy, slimy monster movie. And I love those things. The special effects, I believe, are done by John Carl Buechler, which makes it even better. John Carl Buechler is one of the people that I consider a master in special makeup effects. Pretty close to Savini for me. God rest John Carl Buechler's soul. He's no longer with us. But he was a great special makeup effects guy. Uncle Bill, you say, and Stacy, you say you love TerrorVision. I love it too. And I'd forgotten how much I loved it till I went back and rewatched it last night. Uncle Bill, you say, Dana, I found something you got to get. It was sent to us. Had no idea it was even a thing. Well, let me know about that, Uncle Bill. I'm intrigued now. Stacey said Garrett Graham, Child's Play 2, and Annihilators. Now, I haven't seen Annihilators, but I have seen Child's Play 2 many, many times. And Garrett Graham's been on a bunch of other stuff, too. I hate his character in Child's Play 2 because he's so mean. But he kind of gets his eventually, courtesy of Chucky. But I love Garrett Graham and a lot of other stuff. I love his characters. They're always so quirky and just kind of off the wall. And the character of Mr. Putterman is no different. Ooh. Oh, wow. Well, where can I get it, Uncle Bill? Do you know where I can get this Tulsa Terrors? You say it's a documentary about regional slashers from that area in the 80s. Oh my gosh. And those are some of the ones that I really love. I think Blood Lake might be one of those. Stacey, you say new horror movie in production. Tina Delgado is Alive was interesting. I'll have to try to check that one out. I haven't seen that one, Stacey. So, Like I said, even though TerrorVision is celluloid trash, it is so much fun. And it's out there, but it's not so out there that you can't follow, which I'm going to get to something that's so out there that I couldn't follow it even a second time watching it here in just a little bit. MBD put it out. The Ripper, Terror at 10 Killer. Yeah, I knew those were. You said they talk about all of them. Oh, heck, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Uncle Bill, for letting me know about that because I'm into those regional slashers, especially those ones that were done in Oklahoma in the 80s. I have to see about getting that for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and give a rating to TerrorVision before I move on to the next one. And even though it had been a little bit since I had seen TerrorVision, I loved it just as much as I did, the other times that I had seen it. And so I'm going to give it 5 deadites out of 5. It's that much fun, folks. Might be trash, but it's fun trash. It's entertaining trash. So that brings me to the other movie that I want to talk about tonight, which is Things, done by, I believe it's Andrew Jordan and Barry J. Gillis. So you see there the guy with the little funky mustache and the leather jacket and stuff. It says warning, horror and brutal violence in full color. Guys, gals, oh, I'm sure Uncle Bill's seen Things. And I think Joe Bob showed Things on one of his last drive-in shows. Okay, so here's the description of what this movie is about. And I don't think this movie follows this description at all. People have heard me talk about House of Death and how if you read what was on the back of the VHS back in the day, that it was not the movie that you saw. And Things is like that as well to me, because basically the plot synopsis for Things from 1989. And it's Canadian too, which normally I would like, but okay. So this description from IMDb is more at it's better and makes more sense than what was on Tubi. I don't know if Tubi was going by a different movie called Things or something like that, but they said something about a horror super fan. But this is listed as body horror and horror. An impotent husband driven by a fanatical desire to father children forces his wife to undergo a dangerous experiment. The result, the birth of a multitude of monstrous things. But guys, gals, it still doesn't make hardly any sense. And I thought, well, maybe I'll get more out of it watching it a second time. No. I did. So, yeah, the guy behind Barry J. Gillis there, and he may be Andrew Jordan. I don't even know. But they play brothers in the movie. And the wife she appears to be going through some discomfort. I don't know if they ever actually talk about experiments that he made her undergo, but basically she ends up bleeding to death and dying. And you're not sure, for the remainder of the film, because Barry J. Gillis shows up with his goofy ass friend, and they just take over his brother's house. While the wife's laying in bed, and she says, early on, she says, "I feel like I'm dying," and he gives her some medicine, and then the next thing you know, she's bleeding to death in front of everybody. Um, the poet, you think it'll get the lowest rating yet? Well, we'll see. I mean, and then all these creatures show up, and the people in the movie go back and forth. They evidently didn't learn how to act. The people in the movie go back and forth between being horrified at these creatures and horrified that Barry J. Gillis's brother in the movie, that his wife is dead, and his brother appears dead in some parts of it, and he's horrified some of the time and acts halfway normal the other part of the time. It's just a very, very weird film. You have these insect-like creatures crawling all over the place, these gigantic ant-looking creatures. Barry J. Gillis's brother thinks it's funny early on when his brother gets up from the couch to go somewhere else, get another beer or something. And while he's away, his brother puts a bug in his sandwich, and he just comes back and just eats it like nothing, other than saying, "Ah, I hate mosquito bites," and scratching his arm. I mean, this movie is just off the wall. Bad acting, special effects ain't that great. They say the most asinine things during this movie. Just, folks, not a good movie. Normally, I would love Canadian horror movies because back in the 80s, Canadian horror was king to me. But you can watch it for free on Tubi, folks. So, if you want to check it out and you want to check it out for free, just, you've been warned, okay? Just like don't go in the house, you've been warned. Stacy, you want to know what some of my favorite shot on video slashers are? Well, one of my absolute favorites, just because it's so bad it's good, is Blood Lake. And the other reason why I like Blood Lake is because it has one of the most horny 12 or 13-year-olds I've ever seen, called Little Tony, in Blood Lake. And you can usually find Blood Lake on YouTube and things like Tubi and stuff like that if you've never seen it. But that has got to be one of my all-time favorite shot on video slashers. I like some of the other Oklahoma ones. Like I like Terror Teen Killer, and Terror Teen Killer is bad too. But those are things that are so bad they're good. But I guess Blood Lake and Terror Teen Killer are probably two of my favorites out of those. Voodoo Moon or Warlock? How about Warlock, Stacey? But like I said, some of you out there might enjoy things. I did not, and I think I didn't even like it watching it the second time. I'm sorry. I wanted to, but I just couldn't. And I think the poet's going to be right, because I'm going to give this one dead eye out of 5. That's all I can give it. That's all I can give it, folks. Now, some of you might go watch it for free, and you may like it. And if you do, or if you love it, I would love to hear your thoughts on, hey, I'm not going to mock you here, because everybody has different ideas of what they find entertaining. I just, unfortunately, did not find things entertaining, even a second time. So, I guess that's it for me for tonight. But I want to thank everybody that hung out in the chat with me tonight. the Poet and Stacy and Uncle Bill and Gory Tiger. I appreciate y'all all being in the chat tonight. You thought I'd give it a 2? I couldn't even give it a 2, the Poet. I'm sorry. Have you seen things, by the way? I'm just curious. I don't know, Stacy. At this point, I'd say probably not, but you never know about me. I might see it. I mean, I don't even think I've really heard anything about it, so maybe I should look into it. But I guess that's it for me for tonight. I also want to thank those of you that maybe didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat that were watching along as I discuss these 2 movies. I want to thank you as well. And for those of you that didn't have time to join me live and you watch this on the replay, I thank all of you as well and appreciate you. No, you've never seen it. Defoe, you might stay away from it now for sure. But no, I invite y'all, if y'all are at least intrigued by something like things, and you can watch it for free on Tubi. I think it's also for free on the Fossil app as well. Let me see if I can find where you could watch. And here's another thing. Amber Lynn, yeah, that Amber Lynn, the porno star, is in this. And here's something else weird about the movie things is if you watch the segments that have Amber Lynn in them, it's like she's looking to the side to read her lines or something like that because she's always giving the side eye all the time and it's just completely obvious. I don't see. I'm just looking on Internet Movie Database and I'm not seeing where you can watch this for free anywhere, but I would give YouTube a shot and see if somebody has maybe put it on YouTube, I should say. But anyway, as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. I can't even talk tonight, folks. I ain't had a lick of alcohol either. And y'all have a fantastic rest of your Monday night, folks. We got Monday out of the way. Now it should be smooth sailing, right? We hope, anyway. And if you love Aussie as much as I do, get out there and blast some Aussie and try your best to live the Aussie way. And what I mean by that, I mean, don't stay stuck in the past, folks. Move forward in the present into the future, but don't worry about the future, though. That's the big thing. And don't ever, ever give up on your dreams. I'm out of here for now. Again, y'all have a fantastic rest of your Monday night. I love each and every one of you out there, and I'll see everybody next time.